Good morning. Happy Monday, June the 1st. It's a beautiful blue sky day again. Hoping that you all had a fantastic weekend. I'd like to start this morning with Westport Mortgage. Paul, if you're up and ready with your rate update, that would be awesome if we could start things off with you today.
Absolutely. Thank you, Rick. Couple of things. First of all, I want to welcome Jacob Mark Bernanke to the world on Friday, and everybody knows that he's joined us. So that's wonderful. I also want to remind you of something we brought up last week. One of our lenders is waiving their lender fee and knocking $100 off their appraisal for essential workers, anybody involved, police, firefighters, school teachers, healthcare workers, U.S. military, etc. And that's through the end of June, the program so far. To give you an example, a purchase or refinance, 95% financing on a single family at 3%, and that's for loans up to $500,000 in Fairfield County. And on a condo, it would be 3.25%. So, you could do a $526,000 purchase with 5% down and get 3% on a single family. It's really terrific stuff. And when Jacob Bernanke gets old enough, we're going to give him one of those rates too.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Just in case anyone has missed Jacob, there he is. So congratulations to Peter and Jen. That occurred, I think, on Thursday or Friday. So welcome. That's such awesome, beautiful news. So I think everyone would agree that it's been kind of a rough week and a rougher weekend. For those of you who haven't seen or read the email that Gary Keller sent out overnight, I wanted to just take a minute this morning and do just that and read it to you so we could just talk about it a little bit. Gary says, "Dear Keller Williams family, I'd like to make one thing clear. Racism is wrong, and Keller Williams Realty stands with the Black community and wholeheartedly supports equality. Right now, communities across America are experiencing tremendous pain, and this pain builds and grows exponentially with each name added to the list. Each person had a story, a family, a home, and a life that mattered that was taken away. To our Black Keller Williams associates and clients, we are with you. You matter." Your family, friends, and community matter. Your lives matter. You are in our hearts and in our prayers. The truth is that racial injustice and inequality persist. And in order to help change that, it's critical to not only say something about it, but to do something about it. I believe that the real estate community has a unique opportunity to promote healing and reform. The first step is reflection and thoughtful self-examination. Then we listen, we learn, we speak up. That's how change happens. We know that many of you are past this first stage, and from you, we need your leadership. Effective immediately, we are creating a task force of our International Agent Leadership Council to come forward with recommendations for actions to eliminate any racial disparity within our company and our industry, and how we can lead the way in the communities that we live, serve, and work in. I will be reaching out to your regions immediately to ask for a nomination from each to join us in this critical effort. I am proud of the company we've built together, but I know in my heart that we can do more. I believe that we can also set an example within the industry by committing more of ourselves to a better and equitable future. We can all do something. Lead a conversation in your market center and commit as a family to create change. Reach out to your local real estate board and make sure that racial equality is reflected in their positions. Ask if they support initiatives and measures crucial to racial and social justice. Then get involved in those that you believe in. Now is also the time to check in on each other, speak our truths, and listen with an empathetic ear. While we may not be able to come together in person, we can still make a difference. Call, video chat, text, and support each other during this unbelievably challenging time. And take heart. Take care of one another. While pain and hate brought us to this moment, love will help us find our way out. Onward, Gary. I feel so proud to be in business with a leader who addresses the things that need to be addressed. And I feel equally proud to be involved in an organization locally that when I look around, I see such beautiful diversity in our ranks. Not just Black and white and Latino and Asian, male and female, gay and straight. We have Jews and Christians and Muslims and Buddhists and agnostics and atheists. My mother would call our company like a Heinz 57. We've got one of everything. And what's so encouraging to me is that I don't believe that any of us actually look around when we look at this checkerboard pattern on our Zoom screen every morning and see any of those things that I just mentioned. We just see colleagues and friends and family. Wouldn't it be a wonderful thing if we could figure out a way to take what we so naturally and beautifully encourage inside of our own company to the world? And to that, I know your team leaders have already started to reach out to their ALCs to create a conversation around what Gary just encouraged us to do, that I'm certain will end up in a task force where anybody who wants to kind of jump in and have a voice and have a thought around what it is that we can do to show the world that differences make us stronger, not weaker, and that we live it every single day in what we do. So do watch for that opportunity, and thank you for indulging that moment with Gary's letter. I thought it was crazy important that nobody missed that, and that you hear directly from Gary what his thoughts are and how we're going to continue to push his thoughts locally in our market centers. So the information that I mentioned, the PUA, I did receive information from CTR, late last night or early this morning, indicating an answer to the question that I asked. And the question that I asked was, when everybody has a return to work as of the 20th, and our actual physical spaces in our brokerages are beginning to open now the week afterward, is that the trigger point for everyone filing or not filing? And what I got back was an interesting sort of non-answer. And so here's the answer I got back. What she said was the PUA was designed for assistance, not necessarily during a time of closure, because our industry, as it relates to this PUA, our industry was never closed. Our offices were, but the way that CTR views that is that our industry was never closed. So a quote unquote reopening is not necessarily an opportunity for a shutdown of benefits. However, it's also not free reign to continue collecting benefits forever. And so she went on to say that each week when you file for your PUA claim, you're asked certain questions. And as long as you continue to answer those questions honestly, you may be able to continue those claims. Some of the, she did not give these examples, but I'll give these examples. What she said is that the PUA was designed for either the stoppage of work or a reduction in available work that could affect independent contractors' income, both during the close down period and for the weeks and months after the close down period. And so there are possible reasons why that may still affect you. For example, if you have small children and your ability to work is hampered by the fact that you're now taking care of and schooling small children for much of your day, that could be an opportunity for you to say, you know, I have a legitimate reduction in work because of the environment, right? Remember, the PUA needs to be connected to the environment that was created when this whole thing occurred. Perhaps you're in a high-risk category where leaving your home in one way, shape, or form is not conducive to you remaining healthy, right? That could also be an opportunity for you to justify a reduction or a reduction in work or income. So here's the answer. The answer that I got from the state, and it's going to be my answer as well, is that each of you has to make a determination about what this looks like for you moving forward. And as long as you are continuing to tell the truth, and as long as you are continuing to be able to justify your decisions, because no one knows if we're going to be asked to justify the decisions that we make, right? No, what CTR doesn't want to do, the reason there's not been a broadcast of all of this, the reason that you're not getting this in an email from me is because I want to be able to control the information, right? That gets used to say, well, I made my decision because someone said this. So that's why I'm speaking to you this morning instead of sending out a blast email, right? You have to make your own decisions around this. What I encourage you to do is to figure out what is real for you and make decisions moving forward that way. I know that's not as simple a light switch answer on or off as maybe you were hoping for, and yet what I'm reading between the lines on between Department of Labor and CTR is that this is a kind of a gray area right now. That no one wants to encourage people to be on these benefits forever and ever, amen, just because they're available, right? It was never designed to be just free money. It was designed to help anyone who needed assistance during this period to come out of the other side as you continue to create income opportunities for yourselves. So I hope that gives you at least some direction. That is the only guidance that we have received. I have asked numerous different organizations for help on this, and I finally got one response overnight that gave us that. So I think that everyone's being purposely kind of vague on it. I'm going to be as clear as I think we need to be, so that you have a direction. But I think it's going to end up being a personal choice based on your personal circumstances. Remember, the idea is these benefits were designed to assist people who need assistance based on the current scenario as it relates to your inability to work or to close a gap on reduced hours or income opportunities. So with that, and I'll take questions. I don't know what time it is. Wow, it is already out. You know what, I'll take, does anybody have any specific questions? And then we'll hit Marty Miller. I just want to make sure that this was clear. Okay, perfect. Guys, with that one last mention, as of this morning, nothing has changed with the MLS. I know some of you had some conversations over the weekend with agents. The MLS still says the the showing forms could be problematic. I still say that we owe it to our buyers and our sellers to have that be the seller's choice before they walk in. And I want to be clear, because someone pointed out to me the other day that it sounds like we're only protecting sellers. Remember that these forms that we're asking people to sign also protect buyers, because they tell the buyers what the seller's current scenario is as well. Again, designed very specifically to address that. If you remember, about a month ago, we changed that up. So my thought this morning is that we're still in a position of, it is the seller's choice. If the seller chooses to have this form filled out and requires it, well, then that's the seller's opportunity. I will send out an email shortly indicating that as of today, your sellers do have the right to not have that form filled out if they so choose and they live there. That is one change that we will make. We'll continue to keep it as a seller's choice about whether to use it or not, instead of mandating it that if they have people in the house, they must utilize it. And hopefully that gives you an opportunity to run your business the way you feel you need to run it with your sellers. Our intent was never to be heavy-handed about this. Our intent was to always keep everybody safe. So that's where that is, and the changes that are flowing. Whew! Like Christmas. It's a heavy morning full of lots of stuff. Adonis.
Rick, before we hit the party, can I say one thing real quick?
Yes.
Dan, you have something to say?
Yeah, I just wanted to let everybody know. I'm sure you've all seen the emails, gotten the voicemail, seen the text messages, et cetera, Facebook invites, but we do have a big announcement at 12:15 this afternoon on Facebook that could, provide a great opportunity for everybody to grow their businesses and grow their income with profit share, et cetera. So please join me on Facebook at 12:15 live for the news, and you'll be hearing more about that from us later as well. All right, sorry. Take it away, Don.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Dan. This has been a very touching and inspirational morning. I'm really glad to be in business with you all. It's nice to see your faces in TV land out there. Today is day 45 of the 66-day challenge, and we're going to get an introduction to agent sites. Marty's going to take us through what you can do with your powerful agent sites. And don't forget, we have Scott Leroy Marketing always here to help us if you need to customize it further.
Good evening, Keller Williams, and welcome back to the KW Command 66-Day Challenge 3.0, Day 45. So today we're going to start our series on sites, and we're going to begin that series with a video regarding agent sites. So in order to start configuring and building out your agent site, you're going to want to come down our applet menu here, find the icon for sites. This should be the second or the last one, depending on whether you have Listing Consult or not. It just looks like a little website here with the icon down at the bottom right-hand corner. We're going to go ahead and click on that. And when we do, you'll see we have 3 pages: landing pages, agent site pages, or neighborhood pages. So we're actually going to click on the Agent Site Pages tab. And when we do that, you'll see a banner comes up that either says, see your configured agent site here, or it may say you haven't configured your site, please click here in order to do so. So we're going to go ahead and click on Configure Your Site here on the right-hand side. And the first question it says is, who are you going to utilize? So if I want to use the brand new KW agent sites, which I recommend we do, I would click the first icon. If you want to continue on with your Playster site, you would like to keep using it, and you just want to use it with your KW subdomain, you can do that. Or you can explore other options and go to the KW Marketplace. We're going to teach you how to actually build out your new KW agent site. So option number 1 checked, click on Submit. And the next thing it's going to do is it's going to take you into the Kelly Guide for building out agent sites. It's going to tell you what you can expect. So first of all, you're going to choose a subdomain. Second, you're going to build out your theme and styling. Third, you're going to walk through and build out your pages and manage the content on the new site that you just created. So we're going to click on Get Started. We've got a compliance reminder that pops up that basically says, hey, all of your agent sites must meet the following requirements. You must have your Market Center or Brokerage DBA logo. You must include the ownership statement and may be placed in the website footer. You must be compliant with any of your local board, commission, laws, and rules. Basically says, hey, check with your local licensing authority and board and your market center leadership to ensure that your agent site meets the requirements, including brokerage or market center DBA size and prominence. You can click here. There's a link to find your approved market center logo. So if you don't have that already downloaded, you can follow this step to go to KW Connect, the logos and branding page, and download your actual market center logo. Finally, it says Keller Williams Realty International is not responsible for verifying the accuracy of your website branding. So guys, this is really important. It depends on where you are and how aggressive your board or state may be. And yet there is possible fines that could occur if you're not paying attention to the formatting properly of your agent site. I'm going to acknowledge this compliance reminder by clicking on acknowledge and continue. And I'm going to be taken into the first step of the Kelly Guide for Agent Sites, and that's selecting your subdomain. So you can see on the right hand side here, I have the ability to choose a subdomain. You can't alter the .kw.com. However, you can select what happens before that. So you cannot have spaces or special characters, and you have a max character length of 30 characters. If you change your subdomain, you are releasing any previous domain that you had once saved, and it can be claimed by other agents. So for right now, you can only have one subdomain registered with .kw.com, and you're going to select that here. Next, you're going to start configuring all of your marketing information. So the majority of this information will start to be pulled in, and yet you're going to have to go through and make sure that it's accurate and fill in any blanks. So obviously first and last name, brokerage, market center address, your professional job title, email, cell phone numbers. You're going to want to fill in your bio, your agent license number, your compliance and legal footer, market center brokerage license number, market center phone number, and then you're going to start filling in your compliance legal footers. And I just realized that this one does not have each office is independently owned and operated. So I want to make sure that that goes in. Next, you have imagery. Sorry guys, I thought I was going to sneeze in there. So you've got your profile picture. You want to make sure that you upload that. You can see the recommended size there is 360 by 360. You want to upload your market center brokerage logo, which you should have already downloaded at some point from KW Connect. You can now re-upload that here. And then if you have a team logo or you want some other kind of logo in the header, you can see it here. You can upload that there. Next, if you have social media channels, you want to go ahead and put in all of your social media channels. That's going to actually show up in the menu of your website so people can actually go through and follow you on all of these different pages. And then finally, you have your app link. You want to make sure that's included as well. Once you have done all of that, you'll click on Save and Continue. Footer link must be a valid URL. Did I put it in the URL? I put it in the title. Let me just see if I space and Save and Continue. Footer links must be a valid URL. Okay, so maybe that's why it wasn't there earlier. So let me just remove that for right now and click on Save and Continue. I'll figure out how to get that in then just a touch. So next we have the style and theme. So you can choose whether you want it to be red themed or dark themed. It doesn't change a whole lot. Basically, the KW here changes a few other minor changes with regards to color. I'm just going to go ahead and leave mine as red. You're moving on to the homepage text. So you can see I've got Let's Find Your Next Home. Let's Find Your Next Home is what I have for my homepage text here, but you can change that to whatever you would like. And then you have the ability to upload what are called hero images. And these are the images that are going to show rotating through the background of this main page. So I actually went through, I live in Katy, Texas, so I found some kind of very prominent pictures of Katy, and I uploaded those, and then some designer photos from some of the builders that we have here in the area, and I'm using those for my hero images. You have 5 stock ones. You don't have to change them. If you like those stock ones, you can utilize those. You don't need 5. You could go with 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. So just so you know there, if there's just a couple you don't care for, you can remove those and you do not necessarily need to replace them. Once I click on save and continue, it's going to take me into step 3 where I can start customizing site content. Okay, the first drop down here is navigation. You can see there are 3 pages: company profile, about me, and contact us. I can move this around if I choose to by just clicking and dragging, and that's going to change the order that these pages show up in my menu. Next, I'm going to click on search engine optimization. The first page that we have to worry about is company profile. So you can see this is the URL slug. So it's going to be martymiller.kw.com / and then whatever I type in here. Okay. I could then put in an SEO description. I have not done that, but think about keywords. Basically a sentence or two that makes sense and also has keywords. So I could do something like, Marty Miller is a licensed realtor in Katy, Texas, working with buyers, sellers, and investors looking to purchase or sell homes in the Katy, Cypress, West Houston, and I'm running out of characters. So in the Katy and Cypress areas. Okay, so I've got realtor, I've got buyers, I've got sellers, I've got investors, I've got purchase homes, sell homes, Katy and Cypress areas. So it's a lot of content keywords that are there. Next, we can click on content, and you get to start filling in all of this information below. Okay, so you have an intro paragraph about your company, then you have a headline description. So you can see basically, here's the quick description. So if I start typing in things here, you can see in the middle of my screen over here, this information starts to go away. So I can type in whatever I would feel would go there. I could put in some headline titles here. So maybe this is a little bit about the company, and then I could talk about myself. I might be talking about the rest of the team, right? You can kind of go through and put in information. Then you have your footer at the bottom as well. So there's the footer, headline, and the description to fill in that information as well. I'm going to go ahead and click on continue. Next, I've got the About Me page. So that's pulling in from my KW Connect profile. So that's already there. I could go in and do the SEO description again. I can play with the content should I choose to kind of edit that, switch anything up should I choose to do that. I can click on continue. The last page that I can change up is basically the Contact Us page. So here's the SEO description of this page. Summit Property Group helps buyers, sellers, investors pursue their real estate goals in Cypress, Katy, West Houston, surrounding areas. And then the content, basically, what is this paragraph going to say? Here's the intro paragraph. What's a message hint? So I can actually type in what goes in this box as well. And then I can finally put my phone number down here at the bottom and my email at the bottom and click on save and continue, and that will update and save there. And that's basically it, guys. So for right now, my site would be built out at martymiller.kw.com. My menu would have 3 pages. I would have the Contact Us, I would have the About Me, and I would have the, what was the third now? Oh, company profile. So that's the basic site that I would have available to start building out. Now, as we move on in this challenge, I'm going to have a couple of other videos that talk about some additional things that we can add. We'll also get into landing pages and then configuring additional pages on our agent sites. So look forward to that. That'll be coming up over the next couple of days. But for right now, that's it for the evening. Hope you guys, as always, are having a fantastic night, and I'll look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks so much.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Mr. Marty. So just like he said, we're going to continue editing sites and playing more with sites this week. So that's what we'll be doing tomorrow. Hope you have a lovely rest of your Monday, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.